Adequately, in a way that is sufficient or acceptable in quality or quantity. Sufficiently, appropriately, suitably. She was adequately prepared for the interview. The room was adequately heated during the cold night. He explained the situation adequately to calm everyone down. Brood. To think deeply about something that makes one unhappy, also a group of young animals. Worry, dwell, ruminate. He continued to brood over his past mistakes. The hen protected her brood under her wings. She sat by the window, brooding in silence. Adolescence, the transitional period between childhood and adulthood. Youth, teen years, puberty. Adolescence is a time of emotional and physical changes. Many habits formed during adolescence carry into adulthood. Teachers play a vital role during students' adolescence. Ruminator, a person who thinks deeply or repeatedly about something, often negative. Thinker, ponderer, overthinker. The poet was a quiet ruminator, always lost in thought. Ruminators often struggle to break cycles of negative thinking. As a ruminator, she wrote in her journal to process emotions, assiduously, with great care and perseverance. Diligently, meticulously, persistently. He worked assiduously to complete his thesis on time. The gardener assiduously tended to each plant. She trained assiduously for the upcoming marathon. Greasers, a subculture of youths in the 1950s known for slicked back hair and rebellious behavior. Rebels, delinquents, toughs. The greasers in the novel stuck together like family. He dressed like a greaser, complete with leather jacket and boots. In the film, greasers were portrayed as misunderstood rather than malicious. Predetermined, decided, or set in advance. Fixed, established, prearranged. The seating chart was predetermined before the event. It felt like her fate was predetermined. The test followed a predetermined format and structure. Societal, relating to society or its organization. Cultural, communal, collective. Societal norms often influence individual behavior. The film critiques various societal expectations placed on women. They discuss the societal impact of technological advancement. Attributed, regarded something as being caused by or belonging to someone. Credited, assigned, ascribed. The quote was incorrectly attributed to Einstein. His success was attributed to years of hard work. The painting was attributed to a famous Renaissance artist. Inequitable, unfair or unjust. Biased, unequal, unjust. The judge ruled the contract inequitable and void. There is an inequitable distribution of resources in the region. An inequitable system favors the privileged and punishes the poor. Savages, people regarded as primitive, brutal, or uncivilized. Barbarians, brutes, beasts. The colonizers wrongly viewed the natives as savages. His enemies called him a savage after the battle. They acted like savages during the food shortage. Rendering, a depiction or interpretation of something. Also, the process of presentation, interpretation, depiction, portrayal. The artist's rendering of the city skyline was breathtaking. She gave a moving rendering of the song. The film is a modern rendering of an ancient myth. Sentimental, marked by tender emotions or nostalgia. Emotional, nostalgic, affectionate. He kept a sentimental letter from his childhood. She grew sentimental looking through old photos. The movie was too sentimental for his taste. Marginalized, treated as insignificant or pushed to the edge of society. Oppressed, excluded, alienated. The documentary highlights marginalized communities. She felt marginalized in a workplace dominated by men. Marginalized voices often go unheard in major debates. Repressed, held back or kept under control, often referring to emotions or desires. Suppressed, restrained, stifled. He had repressed his anger for years. Repressed memories can surface unexpectedly. She appeared calm, but her repressed sadness was evident. Inward, directed toward the inside or self. Internal, introspective, inner. He turned his focus inward during meditation. She felt an inward sense of peace. His smile masked inward turmoil. Divulged, revealed private or sensitive information. Disclosed, exposed, revealed. He reluctantly divulged the company secrets. She never divulged the truth to her parents. They divulged their plans to a close friend. Apprehension, anxiety or fear about the future. Also, the act of arresting someone. Anxiety, dread, unease. She approached the stage with apprehension. There was a sense of apprehension in the crowd before the announcement. The suspect's apprehension ended the citywide search. Vulnerable, susceptible to harm or attack, either physically or emotionally. Exposed, defenseless, sensitive. Children are especially vulnerable to illnesses. She opened up and felt emotionally vulnerable. The fortress was vulnerable on its eastern side. Foray, a sudden or brief attempt to become involved in a new activity or area. Incursion, venture, expedition. Her foray into cooking was surprisingly successful. The soldiers made a brief foray into enemy territory. It was his first foray into entrepreneurship. Furlong, a unit of distance equal to 220 yards, about 201 meters. Measurement, length, stretch. The horse galloped the final furlong to victory. The cottage was just a furlong down the path. He sprinted the last furlong in under 30 seconds.